I'm Chris Tuck, a financial advisor, CFP, with a passion for educating my clients about investing. My father-in-law, Scott Kleiman, founded the practice, and together with my wife, Lindsay, and amazing staff, we are making a place to feel more at home with investing. This is Advisors in Cars Getting Coffee. Today, we have a very special guest, Ron Strausse, the mayor of Doylestown. We're going to grab a cup of coffee just down the road at Station Tap House. Maybe we'll watch the trains go by, and we're going to talk about the wonderful borough of Doylestown that SJK Wealth Management calls home. I'm picking up the mayor and Scott in a brand new Tesla Model S. Last season, we had the Model 3. This season, it's a little bit of an upgrade.
Morning. Hi, Chris.
Got a nice ride for you today.
I'm looking forward to this. I'd rather be on that side.
All right. I'll keep this window up for you.
They haven't found a substitute for seatbelts.
No. These are still the same.
Yeah. Nice car.
Very
Yeah.
nice car. This is beautiful.
This is,
I mean, there's nothing here. There's no.
Yeah. Well, we've got, here's Doylestown.
Yeah,
Nice
that's
big map.
great. The map's gorgeous. It's enormous.
Yeah. So,
But I mean, there are no dials. There's nothing. All this is touchscreen.
yeah.
And it's on.
Yeah, it's just always on. There's no off button.
And it doesn't tell you how many miles to the gallon.
It's like an iPhone. There's a little battery.
Uh-huh.
So we've got 302 miles. I think we can make it to Station Tap.
We can make it.
Excellent. And back. Too.
Yes.
And back.
Yes.
Good.
So
Wow.
all we have to do is put it in drive, and we can go. Let's see how this. It's got a little bit of pickup.
Whoa! Whoa!
Little fast, huh? I don't even
Holy
think that was
crap.
flooring it.
No, that was just a little tap.
Yeah,
But
be
the-
careful.
Yeah.
The design is
Yeah, isn't the wood
Yeah,
beautiful?
it's really lovely.
Yeah, they did a nice job,
Yeah.
and all glass
Yeah.
on the top.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go to Station Tap, have some coffee,
Okay.
have a good little conversation, and I appreciate you coming out and talking with us this morning.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, great.
We're sitting in the future.
Yeah, I heard a really good argument for electric cars versus combustible engines the other day, and it was if you take someone who wants a gas car,
Mhm.
put them in a room with it for an hour, and put someone with the electric car in a room for an hour, and see who comes out at the end.
Yeah. Good comparison.
So it's definitely cleaner. So Mayor, thanks again for coming out today. I thought we'd start with an easy one, but what's the role of mayor for people who don't understand what the mayor does here in Doylestown?
Well, this is Pennsylvania, so we have lots of communities of various sizes, from Philadelphia to communities that are even much smaller than Doylestown. Most of them having a mayor in a state where the role is defined as a weak mayor system, and what that really means is, in Doylestown, we have a borough council of 9 members who are the legislative body. And then the mayor traditionally, his primary responsibility was supervision of police department. Beyond that, it's the ability to influence both our paid staff and also those 9 members of borough council in terms of public policy. The mayor also presents the best face forward for the borough, which is the fun part of the job. Right.
Well, what drove you to want to become mayor?
I grew up in this community and moved away for some time. When I moved back here, I had a different career as a business owner, as a restaurant chef and owner, and found Doylestown to be a very different community than it was when I was growing up, and a much more vibrant community, a much more modern community while preserving what's historic, and got involved chaired the Doylestown Revitalization Board and chaired Doylestown's Human Relations Commission.
Okay. Yeah. And then they recruited you as
They recruited me to run for mayor.
There you go.
It's a labor of love.
Right.
It is.
And it is. It is.
So Mayor, if you look at the municipality of Doylestown from an economic point of view, how do you see Doylestown from a residential point of view and a commercial point of view?
Doylestown is enjoying a tremendous residential real estate market. People want to move into town. That's a good thing that they want to move into town. That it's a desirable place to live. The commercial market is healthy, but probably not as healthy as the retail real estate market. Doylestown's economy is healthy and tends to be healthy regardless of the environment around the country. Not that the economic environment around the country doesn't have its effect, but because we have a diverse economy, it tends to be a healthier economy.
Are there new businesses coming to Doylestown?
Absolutely.
And what's Doylestown doing to attract them then?
Absolutely. Probably there are a lot of businesses related to hospitality. I think it's honest to say that the County Theater, as an art theater and a nonprofit, have had a lot to do with the hospitality industry in Doylestown. And the County Theater is going through a major expansion, starting construction, I believe, in January, which can only add to the catalyst of being a catalyst for the development of the hospitality industry. So we have a number of new restaurants that have opened and are planning to open. You know, the emphasis in Doylestown is on independent businesses. And we have independent businesses that continue to open in town and retail space that continues to be available. That's not without its challenges.
Right.
You know, we all know that the independent business has been threatened by online retailing in a big way. There are a number of businesses in Doylestown that have both a brick and mortar location but also an online business. And in some ways they tend to be the healthiest ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what makes Doylestown special is all the independent retailers
Yes.
and not a lot of the big box stores. You can
Exactly.
go get other places. But as we're seeing across the country, even the big box retailers that have the deep pockets are struggling to compete.
Right.
So how does a small independent compete, and what does Doylestown do to help that? And maybe any recommendations you might have for them?
First of all, the independent businesses join together in a merchant association, Discover Doylestown, to promote the town through a variety of events throughout the year. That's important to bring new people into town, introduce Doylestown or reintroduce Doylestown to a new group of people. The residential base of the community is not big enough to support completely the retail base or the hospitality base, for that matter. So the vitality of Doylestown relies on people from beyond Doylestown coming into town and frequenting our businesses. But we have new retail businesses coming into town, exploring opportunities in town that are not hospitality related, and that's a healthy thing too.
And in your opinion, what could retailers maybe be doing better to serve the community?
I think so. Independent retailers are very much hands-on. Sometimes that's an individual in a store all day long. They open maybe at 10 in the morning. And so America, as we're learning, likes to shop and go out between 4 and maybe 8 or 9 at night. That makes for a very long day for an independent retailer, but I think our retailers need to recognize that, and that's not something they can change. So they need to be available and sell at those hours that work for people who are out and about. Either they may be in Doylestown just to stroll and to shop. They may be in Doylestown to go to the movies and might want to shop after that. Or they might be in Doylestown to have dinner and might want to stroll around and shop after dinner. So I think our retailers need to hear that and respond accordingly.
I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
It is. Mayor, what are the challenges, typically financially or otherwise, from a governing point of view of Doylestown?
There are a lot of communities throughout Pennsylvania that are in some fashion distressed. That is not the case in Doylestown. We have a good financial basis. Government does. We have tremendous resources in terms of individuals who are involved in government either as volunteers or as employees. So we can, I like to say that we don't have problems so much as challenges. And we can meet those challenges with the resources that we have available. We're an older community, so we have an older infrastructure. We have a water department and a water infrastructure that going forward will and this is one of the wonderful things about Doylestown, that we are also on the commuter line, so you don't have to drive your car. You can ride SEPTA into Doylestown, or you can ride SEPTA closer into the city. I think that's a great thing. If we had been here 15 or 20 years ago, the train would have been empty. And maybe at 2 o'clock in the afternoon it's not that busy, but as a commuter train it's busy these days. Anyway, so we have an old infrastructure. We have a water system that's aging that will certainly require updating and significant investment going forward. And we're preparing for that. We are conscious of our environment, and we're preparing for ways to weigh in a positive way in terms of our environment, whether it be making sure that the tree canopy in Doylestown, which has been under assault from environmental hazards or from simply aging, that we replace that tree canopy going forward. We're concerned about how we deal with stormwater. And as Doylestown's redeveloped, we're addressing that will be a challenge going forward, and we're addressing what's known as stormwater runoff. Not a very sexy conversation, but essential in terms of the health of a community. So as you may know, we're about to embark on a new municipal park of 3.5 acres.
Wow.
That's not a small investment for a town the size of Doylestown, and we are preparing to finance that in a frugal and prudent way, and that can only add to the appeal, but also the quality of life in the borough.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
All good things.
Yeah, and I guess we drove here in a Tesla, an electric car.
It's
we're talking
exciting.
about being in the future.
Very exciting.
So where does the county see kind of or at least or the borough from your perspective, the future of Doylestown, and what initiatives are taking place?
Well, the Tesla ties in very nicely. We were the first municipality in suburban Philadelphia to install a couple charging stations in parking lots that the borough owns. We're looking at doing more there. There's a discussion going on among council and myself about committing to an all-electric fleet as we replace borough vehicles. We keep borough vehicles forever, but as we replace them, looking at an all-electric fleet and looking at opportunities for additional changing stations. I mean, we are a community that wants to preserve our history, and that's a pretty rich history, both in terms of the history of our country, but also our architectural history. But we also want to embrace the future. Contractors are installing what's known as a 5G network in the borough, which provides better services going forward. So we want to do that. We want to be part of the future, as well as maintaining the quality of life that's been part of our community.
All right, progressive.
So, for our business, what we do is financial planning, retirement planning.
Right.
So I thought we could talk a little bit about retiring in Doylestown and how the borough's looking at that as the baby boomers are entering, that chapter,
right.
And how is the borough kind of positioning itself to be a ideal location for people to retire.
And by the way, it's important for a community to embrace a variety of age groups, a variety of demographics. I think that balance creates a healthy community. In terms of seniors, it's not unusual. We talked about the residential real estate market. It's not unusual for a couple to come to me and say, Mayor, we've been waiting for our daughter to go to college so that we could move into town.
Right.
You know, it's a popular place. So we need to have the kinds of services that people of any age or of a certain age, either one, find valuable. Those services are a safe community, like we talked about, and a community where that's walkable. They also are services because we are a town built on a hill where you can take public transportation if you want. And we have a small public transportation system called the DART, Doylestown Area Rapid Transit. I think that rapid is something we can joke about a little bit. That was started to service primarily the senior population. It services everyone, but it has stops at Doylestown Hospital, at the grocery stores, at the county theater, as well as Wesley, our primary senior citizen facility. So we are conscious and cognizant of the need to provide services for the senior population. And I think the retail community is aware of that too, and is aware that they need to market to senior needs as well as other needs as well. So going forward, I think we're in a good place to be attractive to an aging population, of all ages.
Sure.
Right.
So, Mayor, could you give some advice to our listeners about if they want to give back or they want to volunteer time?
Right.
How could they help the community? What could they get involved with?
I'm told that after Philadelphia, we have, in Central Bucks, we have more nonprofits than any place in Pennsylvania. Whether that's true, it's hard to document, but we know that we have a tremendous number of nonprofit organizations here, both small and large. Those provide tremendous opportunities to volunteer, tremendous opportunities to be involved in the community, as does, frankly, borough government. I mean, we have boards and commissions that deal with economic development, environmental issues, the tree canopy that we talked about earlier, and those are all volunteers. I think we have currently about 110 volunteers working and volunteering on these boards and commissions. That is important in terms of the vitality of the community, and provides a great opportunity for individuals and provides really important support for the borough of Doylestown.
It's great.
It's wonderful.
Mayor, thank you so much for coming out today.
Oh,
Thank
it was
you.
great.
We really appreciate it.
It's
We
great.
love Doylestown. We love
So do I.
being
So do
here.
I.
And it's a great community. I think after today, I just feel really confident of the future of Doylestown, and that we have people in place that care about holding on to our history, but also making sure that we're keeping up with the future. So
Thank you,
it's
Mayor.
really important.
Great.
Thank you.
Tremendous. Great to be here.
Thank you. Hi, thank you. See you later. You look familiar.
Yeah.